up, everyone? Welcome to the No Life Gaming Show, episode 18. I think we're on episode 18. I could be wrong. Yes, we are. This is the first time I got it right. Don't forget to head over to @NoLifeGaming on our Twitter to make sure that you get updated on whenever we're doing things, and make sure you follow us at the Twitch. Now, I didn't realize that the Twitch, I had a two-factor authentication on it, but I took that off so the other guys can upload on there. So if they ever go live, they can use a Twitch account without having to worry about all that. So yeah, follow us over there. Let's get started. Let's bring on the crew. We only got two co-hosts right now. The other guy, we don't know. He might be showing up a little later. He might not show up at all. Don't know where he's at right now. But we'll let him do his thing for now. Anyways, what's up, guys?
What up?
That was almost in sync.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I like that.
I want you guys to do that every time you come on.
What up?
Almost had it there.
Yeah, we're close.
But yeah, I'm going to give everyone a quick warning. Apologize if you hear birds. It's loud today. Disclaimers out of the way.
Jerry lives in a fucking zoo.
Yeah, pretty much. No, seriously, dude. Here, there's actually a family of bunnies that live in the backyard that are adorable. There's about 40 squirrels. There is a family of turkeys. And then there's also probably every other week a large group of deer runs through.
Yeah.
So yeah, just everything.
Mostly all those animals are cool except the turkeys. Anything that make noise isn't cool. All the other ones are pretty silent. They're pretty chill. How deep in the woods are you?
This whole city's woods. Like, that's why I love it, dude. I love it.
Is it like a suburb? I don't understand.
It's it's basically set up like a suburb. So, I mean, it's a city of like 45,000, but it's still like 8 miles by 6 miles wide.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge layout, but it's just woods. It's all woods everywhere.
Man, that's cool. It is so weird. I gotta check that
Yeah,
out.
but it's cool. Like, I don't know. I kind of like it. I grew up in a forest, so that's why I like living in other places that have a big forest vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Atlanta is kind of like that, where it's like trees everywhere. It's like a huge, just big ass city where it's like not condensed and there's just foliage everywhere. Like Philadelphia is not like that. It's just concrete everywhere. New York City, same way. So I do think that's pretty cool.
It's just, I can't do it. I gotta be out, at least in some kind of nature.
Yeah, it depends on how big of a city, because there are a couple of cities that can still hit 1 million or 2 million and still do that, and those are my favorites.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Philly. Like, Philly's a great city because I also live close to it. But like, living in the city, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, not many people are city dwellers.
Too much hustle and bustle, man. I am a laid back guy. I mean, the only nice thing is you don't drive. I hate driving, so that's like the one nice thing.
Yeah.
No, dude, I like the mix, because I don't mind the hustle and bustle, and I kind of like it, but the main thing is the transportation. Like, that's why I liked a city like Grand Rapids a lot, where it was it's a city of 1.5 million people. It's mostly concrete, but it has enough areas that are just wooded, basically, and like parks and things like that feel like you're wooded and kind of have some breakup, but then it has a fantastic public transport system, so you don't need a car and everything's still within walking distance.
I'll tell you what city has a shitty public transportation system. Boston has a shitty transportation system.
Nah,
Dude, it closes.
Boston's great.
It's good if like during the day, but if you want to do anything past midnight, it's all shut down. You got to.
Yeah, that's true.
Then again,
I just say it's great because it's pretty. It's you don't.
Oh, it's great for the daytime, but like I'm talking like nightlife, like past midnight.
Yeah, but it's mostly a cab.
You have to rely on Uber.
Yeah, it's mostly a cab city.
And both the taxis and the Uber jump their rates up after midnight.
I was just making jokes because I love Boston, but let's just say I've never paid for public transportation in Boston, even though I've took it multiple times.
Yeah, I like I have to live in a city. I hate living in the suburbs or in a fucking Farmville. It gets boring to me. I have to be constantly moving around. I just like even when I go to bed at night, and I hate living where I live because it's so loud, but I'd much rather that than just kind of like deep in the woods where there's just not much movement, not much, I don't know, not excitement, just things. Like, I don't know, I need like stimulation constantly.
In my old age, I will retire in the Poconos.
Poconos?
Dude, I love the Poconos.
I fucking hate the Poconos.
Man, I love like 50 miles, nobody around you.
Oh my God, I
great.
hate it.
Okay,
I'm not people. I hate people.
I'm not going that far. I like the mix. I want to see people and the animals.
I wonder if that's like a gene. Do you think that's a gene? Like, some people have to live in a city and some people have to live in the fucking Poconos. Like,
nature
it's gotta be.
nurture?
Yeah,
it's
gotta
nature versus nurture.
It's like inherent in some people. Like for me, I have to inherently like I love this city. I always wanted to live in the city. I always will live in the city. Where some people, they're just woods people. I think it's a gene. Some type of fucking gene.
I'll let you know when I get back my 23andMe test. How about that?
All right, cool. Yeah, let us know. All right, let's move on. What have we been playing? None of us have really been playing much this week. We've been kind of doing other things. Doobie, let's start with you. You've been playing something called, I'll let you take it away. I don't even want to say the name of this game.
DokiDoki Literature Club. It is a free-to-play game that's coming on Steam soon, but you can download it right from their website. It is made by Team Salvato, which is a recently announced game company run by the Dan Salvato. People who know Melee may know him as the guy who does the 20XX Tournament Edition hack that a lot of players use for tournaments. So he knows what he's doing. It's him and a couple of other people, and it is a really, really anime weeb dating sim. It's actually kind of fun. I've been enjoying it. Team Yuri, that is the best girl. And it's got the flair to it. It's got a lot of English, like literature things. So like you join a literature club because that's all the rage in schools in Japan is to join clubs. And yeah, that's what I've been playing.
I really don't. I'm watching like this trailer on this site, and I'm just at a loss for words. Now I've seen many games like this. I've played a game like this, like when I was like fucking like newgrounds.com. Yeah, exactly. That was my only experience with games like this, and I think that genre has kind of
when you go onto the M18 plus side of Newgrounds.
So the game. All right, I want to know from you the main objective of these games is to sleep with these women, correct?
It's
not about the story.
To sleep with them, but you're trying to romance them.
It's not about the story because the story is always terrible.
It's about the story. That's all there is. It's a walk-in sim.
No, if you want a good dating sim with a story, go play Dream Daddy.
No, what I'm saying is like, are these games like known for their stories? Or are they known to just have sex with anime girls?
Like the connection you make with each character. Like each character is, of course, their own subsidiary of like just how people are, personalities. So you've got like the shy, reserved girl who opens up. You've got the loud, abrasive one that hates you that eventually opens up because that's the whole Sunder, or how we pronounce that shit. Like that's that character archetype. So you'll see a lot of these games have a very vocal fan base of who they like, who their waifu is.
Is that wife? Is that what a waifu is?
That's the ultimate just meme way of saying like that's my wifey. That's your waifu.
My waifu.
And a reminder: too many waifus will ruin your laifu.
I think your fucking waifu is ruined.
I love the anime bullshit. It's so cringy and great.
It's way too cringy.
You have to like have a just an inherent taste, just appreciation of the cringe.
Oh, I can't do it, man. Some of this stuff is just way too out there.
So good.
Like, all right, let me see like a piece of dialogue from this game, from this trailer. All right. So here okay. So this image, it's an anime girl with pink hair, Natsuki, and she says, "Like I could ever get my friends to read this." But the anime girl looks like she's 5 years old, like a little baby.
Welcome to anime high school games.
It's so weird, and I don't know. I don't understand
let's be honest.
But then you see, hold on.
played.
But then you see another image here where it's the same girl and she looks more developed, I guess. Like she's older. But it's the same person. Like I don't understand where that. I guess that's an anime trope. Like they kind of have that.
Dude, there's all those games are built on tropes.
Yeah.
That's like
it's
their
weird.
whole shtick.
It's super. Man,
I mean, you've played Persona 5, so you've had some experience playing like the dating sim aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've played a few of them. Like I said before, when I was like way back in the day, I haven't really played them anytime recently. But I just remember them specifically being like you're trying to get to have sex with these anime chicks. Like there's no story. You're kind of just like it's all about. It's like a porno, right? It's like you don't care about the story. You care about the finish line. And I think these games are something like. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know this game. Never played it. Never played any good ones. But it's good to know that you're there to play them for us.
You can't go wrong. It's free.
Oh, it's free. You can just download it. Oh yeah,
you can just download it. You can support them if you want to, and you can get like the soundtrack and stuff, like $10. But if you want to just go right to the website, you can download it right now for free. It's like 280 megabytes. I mean, super simple. You don't need any kind of powerful PC.
Well, this
you
is
can
the
just run that
staff.
on anything.
Dan Salvato, he does the writing, coding, music. And then there's one person who does the character art, Satchley, and then Valinquent, who does background art. That's it. That's the only. That's the whole team.
This is the project he's been working on for 2 years, and
Dan
Salvato's a really good guy. Like he does a lot of work for the Melee community. So,
do you think he'll make enough money to like live?
He does sell the Melee like tournament edition like on GameCube memory cards. Like he does sell those. I think this is like
he has to do something else here, probably.
I mean, this is more of a like, here's what we can do. In the future, they might make games that do cost money, but I feel like this is more of a passion project that may result in more of a like a portfolio.
Passion project.
Passion project.
Yeah, so that's his.
That'd be the next game. Team Salvato's passion project.
I mean, it looks kind of simple. Like it looks like you could pretty much make this kind of stuff.
It's not a complex game. None of those games are.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a good
it's not
way
like
to make
a Persona
money.
Where that dating sim is intertwined with like really great stylistic art.
Looking at the specs, you could run this game on a Windows phone.
Yeah,
like one of those Windows phones with Windows 10. You could play this on that.
I could probably run this on my. I know I could run this if I wanted to, right on my Droid.
Oh yeah, this is lower specs than a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah,
you could play it.
Yeah, it's just basically just images. You're just clicking
that's
images.
all it is.
All right, well, that's
it's fun.
DokiDoki Lit Club.
For free. Maybe I'll try it out because I'm also going to be trying out a free game tomorrow.
Fortnite.
Yeah. See if that's anything. Because I know Loco was saying he liked it, but had issues with it, so I didn't want to spend money on it. But it's coming out for free on the 26th. So I'll try it.
I'm down to try it out too.
Honestly, I just want to try their PUBG thing. But yeah, we'll get into that.
Right on. All right, so our next thing is that I don't have my other phone with me, but I went back to the iPhone for a multitude of reasons. This has been hot debate amongst the No Life crew lately. Is the Apple versus Android or Apple versus PC debate here. And I will say I went with probably, and I said this, I wrote an article about this on my personal website, WayneMakesThings.com. And I talked about how I moved pretty much, I just jumped headfirst into the Apple ecosystem. I bought a MacBook. I've had an iPad. Kate has always been into Apple, so she had the iPad and an iPhone. She's always kind of been doing that thing. And she has an iMac that I purchased for her last year because she didn't have a computer because I spilt coffee on her old MacBook. So when I wanted the MacBook Pro and I got one as my next laptop, and I loved it so much. I just liked being in the Apple ecosystem. I wanted to get back on iPhone, which I had before. This is my old 5S, which is like fucking love that phone. It still works. And now what else do I have from Apple? And I think that's it, other than the iMac, iPad. Not going to get the 4K TV. Not going to get the watch. Not going to get the EarPods. I might trade her old iMac in for an iMac Pro down the line. Or I might just get like a Mac trash can thing when those new ones come out. So, okay, I moved to iPhone. There's just so many things that Android needs to get right if they want to have that same type of vibe that Apple does. For example, there's a bunch of memes going around when the iPhones kind of got announced, and it was saying like, I would rather fucking burn my head off or something than ever buy a Samsung phone. Like, some people just get iPhones all the time. A lot of people, most people who don't normally dive into technology, they usually just go the Apple route. One, because it's a known brand. It's just a known brand, and they know that they can rely on it. They know that it's going to have good specs, and then it's just simple to use. The ecosystem works well, and two, it's a fashion icon, right? You got to have it. You know, you don't want to roll up with an old fucking beat up Asus when you got to look good, and you're 25-year-old woman. You know what I mean? It's just keeping up appearances. But I will say though that there's more to it than that. Like, for example, the apps that I use the most is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I use a lot of the messaging apps like iMessage, Facebook Messenger, Skype, Discord, and then a lot of the finance apps like PayPal, Santander Bank, BitPay, and Coinbase, and all those like Bitcoin wallet stuff. And how they run on Android and how they run on iOS is completely different. They run like complete shit on Android. And I didn't realize it until I went back to the iPhone, and I was like, oh my God, everything is just so much smoother. It looks so much better. It just runs so much faster. It's so much cleaner. Where on Android, everything kind of has like a jitter to it. Everything feels very clunky and just not put together very well. Constantly having to switch between apps is always an issue. Always having to force close apps on Android. And I forgot how fluid the iPhone really is. So I went with the iPhone 8. I didn't want to wait for the iPhone X. One, because I didn't want to spend $1,000 on a phone that I know is going to get updated probably next year. And I'd rather wait for that update than shell out $1,000 for the iPhone X, which I'm probably not going to get for another 4 or 5 months anyway. I'm not waiting in line for anything. That's like one thing I can't stand is waiting in lines. I don't go to Great Adventure because I fucking hate waiting in lines. So I'm not waiting around for this iPhone X. It doesn't interest me that much. I want the chip. I wanted the AR kit. I wanted the new camera because it has 4K 60 frames per second, which is unbelievably insane. And that's basically it. And I wanted to get back on iOS because I missed iMessage so much. iMessage, I don't know why Android has such a terrible messaging system, but they need to fix it. Just pick one. Just pick one and fix it. Don't use 9 different messengers. WhatsApp, Google's messaging app, Allo, and then you have this Samsung one, and then you have all these other ones, and they all work like shit. Like I have a group chat with 3 of my best friends, and all 3 of us have iPhone. The other one has an Android. And just because his one Android, the messaging sucks on it. It's slow. It takes forever to send a picture to each other. But if we all had iMessage, like what me and in another group, we all have iMessage. It's fast. It's quick. You can send all different types of shit. We set up an iCloud like sharing thing where if I take a picture, it's automatically on the photo album and they can all see it. I don't even have to send it to them. They need to implement that kind of stuff into Android, because I love the way that Android you can get into anything. Like, you can customize anything, and the fact that you can pretty much do anything on Android is very alluring to me. Like, I had a bunch of stuff set up where my Android was basically connected to my computer, and I could control it from my computer, but I had to set up all these different things. I had to actually pay for a service just to use a messaging app on my computer that's synced with my phone. But with iPhone, it all works together, and it's all free. I didn't have to worry about that. My phone just works with my MacBook. I can message someone from my MacBook, and it syncs with my phone very easily. Like I said, but the images, you take a picture on your phone and it's already on my MacBook that I can do my editing, run it into Hootsuite, which is like a social media scheduling, and then boom, it's on your iPhone immediately. It's that kind of stuff that I think Android needs to figure out, and they should figure that out before they do anything else. Because that will increase their sales tenfold if they figure that out. Because the phones nowadays, they're getting so good where the hardware doesn't even matter. Like they were saying that the chip in this iPhone is equivalent to the 13-inch MacBook Pro, which is fucking insane. And I think it's like the specs is like the i7 7700U, which is like a high-end.
They're two different tests, bud.
What?
Those are two different tests.
What are two
That's
different
not.
tests?
It's equivalent. It's a Cinebench. Those ideas are based off of a Cinebench test. But they're two different Cinebench tests.
Geekbench. There's a Geekbench test.
It was a Geekbench, excuse me. There's two different tests. One was a phone test. One is an 80 test.
What was the other? What
It's not
test
the
you
same
broke up?
test.
What was the other test?
Like an 86 traditional processor test.
Yeah.
I think the A11 chip's great. It's fantastic. I think it's going a little bit far to say it's a 77U.
That's what they're saying. I didn't say that. That's what the reviews are saying. That they're as powerful as a 13-inch MacBook Pro, or more powerful. And if you
then
look
that's
at
more powerful than the base MacBook Pro. That is as powerful as the $2,000 MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
No. Not the i7, the i5, 7700U. Whatever
72?
whatever the 13-inch one holds. And that's saying that, like, when they showed it, let me see if I can find the image. I'll bring it up now. What is it called? The A11, right? When they posted it, like, to the other phones, it spanks them in terms of raw processing power. It's not even the same league. Like, it's a completely crazy chip, but it's a chip, so the other phones are going to get there just as fast, and they're going to be just as powerful. So you're not worried about hardware anymore. We're not worrying about hardware. What I'm worried about as a content provider is how well I can do things from my phone to my computer, which is huge for me. I need to be able to do that, and you can do it on Android. It's just clunky. You have to pay for different services. With iPhone, it kind of all seamlessly does it. Or you just buy the Pixel and you don't have to pay for any of those services, and they actually work really great. Really?
Yeah.
Wait, you can message?
I can't get iMessage, but I can do most of the things you're saying. Like, I mean, especially with photos.
Computer? You can message from your computer natively?
Oh, not natively, and I don't care to do that. Like, the other things, though, you're talking about is, like, okay, for the, like, photo backup, that's backed up instantly to my computer.
Yeah.
Like, instantly. Everything like that works fantastic. But, like, the message thing, no, I agree with you. Android's shit for messaging, but I don't care about that as a user.
I am a weeb, so I have the Persona 5 messaging app on my Android, which anybody who's played Persona 5 knows, like, that whole, like, phone format. And it, like...
you downloaded that?
Damn right I downloaded that. The only problem I have with it is you can't do, like, images with it, so I have to switch back to regular text to do that.
Oh,
which annoys me.
Fuck all that noise.
Yeah. No, like,
oh, man.
I don't know. Pure Android from Google's always been a different experience for me.
Yeah,
because like all of those, I haven't force closed an Android app in 3.5 years.
Consider yourself lucky, man.
No, I just bought the right phone.
Consider yourself lucky.
Because I will agree, Android's fragmentation problems are huge. But it's like I'm like sitting here listening, like you're listing off all these problems. I'm like,
yeah, it's a fucking problem, and it's like this is like a Samsung flagship phone from last year, so it should be just fine. Now I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what Google's interface is like. I don't know how seamless everything is. But iMessage is huge for me. That iMessage is so huge, and I wish that Android did something about it. I don't know why they don't figure it out. Just fucking figure it out. It's gotta be easy.
They've been doing the Samsung idea of just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks instead of doing something about it.
Something that I was thinking about getting into as a deep topic is that the Google-Apple fight is so annoying. Because one of the reasons why...
I mean, yeah, it is. I think they're two different products. Like, okay, the Pixel's great. But it's like, this is the only phone, in my opinion, that should be like saying like, no, this is what can do, like this would be in a fight with an iPhone. All of the rest, the main point of Android was no, it was supposed to be for a $200 phone that can be sold anywhere in the anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was a platform that it wasn't made for flagship battles in my brain, at least.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was designed for little kid in India can buy a smartphone, and it works.
Right. I completely agree with that.
I've said it before that there are two demographics. Like, the people who target iPhones, the people who go for Android, they're two very different people. Like, my parents, who aren't very tech savvy.
Hold on, Doobie, can you fix your mic really quick? Because it keeps going up and down. It's hard to hear you.
Any better?
Yeah, it's better.
All right. But like, my parents, they're not very tech savvy, so like, Apple is perfect for them. It does what they need to do. They don't have to screw with anything. It's right out of the box. They know music is music.
Yeah.
There's no thousands of apps they can download to play music.
Right.
Me, I'm the kind of guy that likes to tinker. I like different products that offer different things. So I like a different music app that isn't the default music app. And that Android is perfect for me. But the battle, Android versus... No, it's really... There are two demographics. Each one is perfect for that demographic. I don't see this whole... The two fight, because they're not fighting over the same demographic.
I agree that it's two demographics. I completely agree. The thing that I'm saying is that, for example, that Apple
it's turned into a huge fight to me because they're the two biggest tech companies.
Well, the way the integration works between each other is terrible. Like, Apple has this 4K 60 frames per second, which is fucking awesome. Like, this camera right here, this camera can't do that. It cannot do 4K 60 frames per second, no matter how hard I try. Unless I upgrade it to like another $2,000 recorder. To like
at the same time, it's still probably nicer image quality, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a different sensor. But dude, it looks nice. The 4K 60 off this phone looks nice, but it runs that HEVC codec, which for some reason Google doesn't want to support. And then on the other hand, the VP9 support.
That's a huge thing. Okay, Google came out with a codec many years ago, and that's what the codec works on YouTube.
Yeah,
Apple came up with their own codec to compete with it. That's where I start having issues where why?
Yeah.
Like, that's where a lot of the fragmentation is because they, like, both of them see each other like, no, we have to use our codec. No, we have to use our codec. And then I'm just sitting here like, this is insane because now you can go buy a 4K Apple TV finally. You can't even watch fucking 4K YouTube videos, which is probably going to be 95% of what you're doing.
Yeah, it's insane how badly that the two just can't integrate, because we know, like, I don't care whatever you can do to get me 4K 60, I don't care. Just support that file format. Just support it. You know, we can use them all. Use the VP9, use HEVC, support them all.
Does Netflix, I know, like, Netflix right now, they're like the best image quality you can get from Netflix on mobile. I know there's the two phones, and they just, when the Galaxy Note 8 dropped, they added that to it. Are they adding the iPhone 8 or X to that, or is that a whole different
thing? They get the 4K on that. I think it uses that.
Like, it's nice.
Part of that fight that happened too is, I think this is one of those little things where I think Apple's screwing up, which is apparently controversy. Okay, that codec is actually a fantastic codec, but they built it for iTunes. They built it for encoding movies on iTunes, and it's fantastic for that. But since it's Apple, they have to try to lock you down to just using your iTunes library instead of supporting everything else. I just wish they supported everything else, because it is a fantastic codec, but so is the YouTube one.
Yeah. No,
just let me use both as a user, not just one.
Yeah, you got to figure that shit out, because that shit is super, super annoying as for consumers. Here's the benchmarks too, by the way. I got them up here. So the Geekbench score on the MacBook Pro, its multi-core is like 89, where in the iPhone Plus, its multi-score is like 92 or 98, 83. So it's scoring higher both.
Is that the same test?
It's the same test. It's the Geekbench test.
The Geekbench has multiple tests. That's what I mean.
No idea.
That's what I was saying. Geekbench has a mobile test for mobile processors, then Geekbench has a laptop desktop test. They're
This
two
must
different
be
tests.
mobile because it's the mobile chip. It's the U chip. They're comparing it against the i5 7267.
Right, and that's why I'm saying, to me, that's not a good comparison. It is two different tests. It's comparing an apple versus an orange.
Yeah, let me see if
It's a really, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna see if I can figure out which exact test. I have no idea.
Because at least that's what I saw and heard. Because like a lot of the tests were coming out. Like, look at this huge, Geekbench score, and it was just like, which test is that?
I don't know. I would have to assume, because since that's the mobile Kaby Lake chip, that it's using that same mobile test. Because the U chip is built, it's a different architecture, right? Than the K and the X. Those are completely different.
Don't think so. It's a low power, but it's not like a phone processor. It's still a laptop processor. It's just a low power.
It's just a Geekbench 4. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're doing two different ones. I didn't know. I thought the Geekbench test was just raw performance power out of the chips. I didn't know it depended on which exact chip it was. That's always what I thought Geekbench was for. That's why they use Geekbench, because it's like a standard test.
I mean, it is.
If you
but yeah,
Geekbench if you Geekbench at 77 and 100K, I mean it's gonna score 10 times bigger than all of these chips. You know what I mean? Like it is relative.
Oh yeah. No, the problem with, like, that's what I always have a problem with, is people's like the Geekbench score, and it's just like, which Geekbench score? Like, you do realize we're like, for laptop or like, computers, we're using Geekbench 4 point something. There's also been Geekbench 3. There's also been Geekbench 2. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when Geekbench 4 was coming out, people were testing on both.
I don't know what the Cinebench scores are either, but that's usually what I look for, because I most care about rendering. So I usually look at the Cinebench scores. We haven't seen that yet. Actually, we have seen that, and it is fucking pretty quick on rendering. But it's rendering its own file formats. It's rendering the QuickTime files and the HEVC files, which, by the way, are crazy. Those files, I can't believe the amount of space that you save using some of these file formats. Because when you take the raw, which this uses like an XAVC 8-bit file, and I take maybe 10 minutes of 4K video.
Yeah, I found the exact thing. That's based off of the Geekbench 4.114 iOS. That is based off of the mobile test. This desktop test is a different test.
Oh, is it?
Yep, I found the actual Geekbench image.
So do they have the test of the chip on a desktop test, or you can't do it?
Probably not, because it's still an ARM chip versus an x86. So it's two different manufacturing processes.
But how are they able to test the desktop or the laptop chip then under the Geekbench test?
It's two different tests. They have an ARM test and like the iOS Android ARM tests, which is an ARM processor, right, which is a different process than an x86. They still have an x86 test. That's what the standard, like, so like when, the new
those are
Core
two
i7
different,
that's coming out.
So they're comparing two different tests, you're saying?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I see what you're saying now. That's a completely different test.
Right.
Oh, that's a little misleading.
That was what I was trying to say, yeah, because, like, don't get me wrong, in that test, it is crushing. Like, this, I think even the latest Snapdragon
I want to see
multi-score was still doing almost 7,000.
Right, I want to see it on one test. Do one test on these chips, but I guess you can't, right?
Right.
I guess you really can't, which is kind of lame. Oh well. Well, I will say
it's still a great processor. I just wanted to stop that misinformation. Basically,
it's insane. It's an insane processor, but iOS 11 is really not completely optimized for it yet, so it doesn't feel that much better. What I will say is that, like, any type of photo editing, it's a breeze on the phone, which is crazy. Video editing on your phone is insane. 4K, 60 frames per second, video editing on your phone. Dude, you know how much this desktop that I'm using right now, I built specifically to edit 4K videos, and this thing cost me over $3,000. And the fact that I could do it with my phone nowadays is insane. And I can't wait for more of this, like, seamless integration of it all. Next thing I wanted to move over to is the AR stuff, and I think, now we were talking about this before the show, we have disagreements here, but I think that the AR stuff is going to become very, very popular. It's going to be huge. The IKEA thing is crazy. it's so fun to be able to shop in a way that we thought of it in like science fiction movies, where you can see your whatever you're buying to scale in your room and have it floating around, and being able to like choose different colors for it. Being able to like measure things without actually having to like move around. You could just point your phone and just measure your room. That stuff is fucking insane.
Do you know how fun going to sporting events is going to be with AR?
Oh my god, I cannot wait.
Like,
I can't wait for that.
AR, like not just in terms of entertainment, but in terms of just straight up functionality. I'm excited to see what AR can do.
Yeah, and I can't wait for like some genius to come along and figure out a good way to implement AR into our lives, because it's just going to be so much more convenient to do certain things, man, with AR. Because VR,
no, I think that's cool.
It's a complete, like, it's a more of like an immersive kind of detachment of reality, where AR, it relies on reality. It relies on the thread of reality to really sell it.
VR is great for like entertainment. Like,
that's
VR is
specifically
really great for entertainment, but it doesn't have as many practical uses for just like in terms of functionality for other things that like AR can provide.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree.
Just imagine like classrooms where they're going to use AR for notes or for like medical stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah. And what's cool is that, I mean, because the iPhone is so prevalent in society, and it getting this and like really pushing it out there, like usually stuff like this, they don't want to really kind of push it out there unless they think it's ready. So for them to say, look, here it is, do what you got to do with it, I think it's going to be really cool. And I can only imagine it's going to get crazier in terms of like shopping, because that's the only thing my feeble brain can think of right now is like the best use of it is like shopping.
No. Dude, where you just look at a
super popular out the shopping.
You see the lists of like what the price is, where the price is somewhere else, coupons. It'll save paper.
Yeah.
Once AR is like, I mean, I'm talking like the future where AR is like exploded. You know, you'll be able to see everything electronically. There goes a lot of your paper.
Yeah, I'm pumped on it. I'm pumped. So, suffice to say that the reason why I'm so happy about moving back to iPhone is because it does this is a content creator's phone. This is a content creator's phone. I went to Android originally because the iPhone was just lacking. It didn't have the sort of things that Android was doing. It didn't have 4K video. It didn't have a lot of the just raw processing power that the Samsung S7 Galaxy had, or that the Google Pixel had. But now they're starting to realize that. Now the MacBook Pro comes out, and now it can Final Cut crushes 4K video. It does it so much faster than Premiere with a 1080 graphics card. It's insane. So now that they're focusing more on content creators, I think if you're a content creator, I don't know if I would get the 8. The only reason I did is because I'm impatient. But if you can wait, I would probably get the X, because what they're doing with content, with these file formats and all these the cameras are just amazing. And the way it just integrates together, it's just nice. It just works really nice. And I think that's why it was the standard for a while, and then kind of a lot of people started to move away from Apple because they were just lacking on certain things, and people started to go back to Premiere. People started to go back to what is that other program for audio? I forget. Audition, stuff like that. But now, I think I think Mac or Apple is starting to really understand, like, we need those content creators, so let's cater to them. And I'm only excited to see what else they're gonna bring out, because it's crazy how fast these companies are getting expanding, I should say. All right, moving on to news. Let's do it. Loco's usually here to help us with the news, but motherfucker.
News time, mail time, fun time, time.
Former Valve artist portfolio includes mystery co-op fantasy game, rad female TF2 characters. And you can see them right here down below.
Dude, they look so sick. They look so fucking sick.
I want to know what this is.
I think it was just personally, I think it was a personal project. like a portfolio project because I don't think this was ever used by Valve or has an intent to be used by Valve, but it just looks sick.
Don't you wish you could draw like that?
Yeah.
Like how does someone think of that and then put it on a piece of paper? You know what I'm saying? Or on a computer. Yeah, it says here, this is concept art by former Valve artist Drew Wolf. I mean, I guess with the last name of Wolf, pretty much do anything you want, right?
Especially if it's all of this fantasy setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Like on the bottom, it's just like, dude, I'm gonna draw the most badass wolf known to man.
Exactly. All right, so yeah, so
they look really awesome. Like it'd be cool to see this put into a game, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
which sucks.
What's up with
like
Valve
a game in this art style too, dude.
Dude, what's
like
up with
that would
Valve?
be sick.
What's going on with Valve, man?
They can't count to 3.
Fucking stupid.
No, dude, nothing's going on with Valve. They're just sitting there counting all of their fucking money from Steam sales.
Dude, someone needs to say something about this.
Steam sales and Dota 2.
Fucking Dota.
Yeah, it's fucking Dota 2. The game we give all of our attention to, and go fuck yourself, Counter-Strike. Not salty.
Oh, I don't even want to get into it. I don't know anyone who plays Dota 2, but
I know a couple of people.
Somehow millions of people do.
Yeah. I think they kind of keep it secret, because if you've ever played Dota 2, you'd understand why some of them keep it a secret.
Oh, I played for like an hour and never played again.
Yeah, no, like once you get into like Dota, like it's the same thing with League and Counter-Strike, but those kinds of competitive games really breed like massive toxicity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a problem. Toxicity is definitely a problem in today's day and age.
I mean, I get it. It's just, trying to win. You got a competitive spirit, but some people take it a bit far.
Some people's only pleasure is toxicity. They don't want to win anymore. They suck so bad that that's all they know that they're good at. All right.
And first world problems.
PlayerUnknown's Battleground dev addresses Fortnite Battle Royale comparisons. And then, see if I can find the statement here. The makers of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds today effectively puffed their chest, pointed at Epic Games, and growled, "I'm watching you, sunshine." What the fuck? They've issued a statement addressing comparisons between Battlegrounds and Epic's new Battle Royale mode in Fortnite, saying that some players have pointed out similarities, and now Bluehole are concerned that Fortnite may be replicating the experience for which PUBG is known, which is foolishness, of course. Even creator Brendan PlayerUnknown Green himself has told us he doesn't claim ownership over Battle Royale modes. Bluehole muttering about contemplating further action seems a hollow threat, but hey, maybe they're making it they'll save face. And then today's statement is very much framed as responding to a community concern and sees Bluehole lay out their foolish stance. We've had an ongoing relationship with Epic Games throughout PUBG's development, and they are the creators of UE4, the engine we licensed the game for. Chan Hang Kim says, after listening to the growing feedback from our community and reviewing our gameplay ourselves, we are concerned that Fortnite may be replicating the experience for which PUBG is known. Yes, we know all this. Where is the fucking response? That's what I want to know. Oh, I guess they were just talking about Green's.
I think that was the response. Yeah.
Green's thought. So here he says, look, I don't claim ownership, so it's a last man standing death match. That's been around since people could pick up clubs and hit each other. I would never claim ownership over that. The ever decreasing circle, I couldn't program squares like it is in the Battle Royale movie. The code for doing squares that shrink, I just couldn't do it because I wasn't a very good coder, right? So I moved it an ever decreasing circle that sort of moved around inside itself, because that's how I could do it. I don't even claim ownership on that. These are old ideas. I love to see what the genre has created, its various versions on something that I guess I popularized, The idea itself is not mine. So here he says, look, I don't claim ownership over it. It's the parent company that's doing all this bullshit. I think it's so foolish of them to do that. It's so foolish of them to make that statement, because this game is a ripoff of 2 other games. It's a remix. It's a fucking cover song.
So is if you really want to get down to it, so is PUBG.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Of his own games, but yeah, like
no, that's what I'm saying.
That's,
PUBG is a ripoff of 2 other fucking very popular games. Like it's
he did help make
games.
those games, but like yeah, I see what you're saying.
The entire gaming industry is built off of ripoffs.
Yeah.
All right. Street Fighter. You could say that like so many fighting games that came after Street Fighter 2 are just ripoffs of Street Fighter 2.
They are. And if they say they aren't, they're kidding themselves. They're all ripoffs of the same whatever. It's okay, put your own spin on it. But don't like try to get on your high horse when your game is one of the quintessential. It's the quintessential experience of that genre that 2 other games are known for. That came before it. So I think that's really weird and kind of funny, but whatever. At least he addressed it and said, "Hey, man, I don't claim ownership over it."
Yeah, I'm too, because he got contracted to make similar games, but at the same time, it's like Battle Royale was even still around before he really popularized it.
Yeah, I don't even think he did popularize it.
No, he totally popularized it.
The Battle Royale mode.
Yeah, dude, because he did the first one in the Arma series that got big. Like that was the original huge one. Was the Armas?
That was a hack. Like that was originally a mod.
No, all of this started out as mods. Yeah.
It started from the grassroots.
He was the one who was making all the mods for Armas and stuff like that. Then he got hired to do King of the Hill.
More people owned the Arma series just for the mods, not for the game itself.
You think he made it though? You think he's the Battle Royale guy?
I think he popularized it. I don't think he made it. That's what I was saying. Is he didn't make the genre, but he definitely brought it back. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of another game that
definitely
use that.
One of the big guys that like made it what it is right now, but it's not like he made the whole genre by himself.
And the term Battle Royale is just because of that movie Battle Royale,
which is a great movie.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
I haven't seen that movie since I was a fucking teenager, man. I kind of want to watch it.
There was even
so good.
Didn't they even do like an anime series on it?
Did they?
There's an anime series on it. No, they did. I remember that. There's an anime series somewhere.
I mean, essentially Hunger Games is just Battle Royale, but made by white people.
Yeah, like all of these concepts have been around forever. Like
Hunger Games,
look back at ancient Rome, dude. All I'm saying.
Dude, I'm just
saying. You want to go fight in the Colosseum?
Hunger Games made it, okay? They're the ones who made that whole style of film.
Did you watch
I don't know why I'm doing a Trump impression. I don't know why, but it just came out like that.
Did you watch Hunger
I'm pretty
Games,
sure it was Twilight.
I never watched Hunger Games.
I was almost sure that you watched it. I was almost sure you watched it.
I do not give a shit. Battle Royale, so much better.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to try out the Fortnite just because of the controversy, and it's also going to be free tomorrow. Because, I don't know, the Fortnite version actually looks more, but that's just because you can build shit in it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool change. To me, that's enough of a change for it to not be just a ripoff.
Right. I completely agree. And there's also like a whole loot system that Fortnite has, right?
Yeah, like there's a loot system, but it's also, I mean, the main feature of that game is you also build things in the environment.
Yeah. Like
to me, that's a much different, that's a lot more arcadey, but it seems like it could be fun. So I like PUBG, but it's like
PUBG versus Minecraft. It's like
rip
off of 2 other games instead of 1. All right. Versus evil partners with Obsidian for Pillars of Eternity 2. Big news. I've never played the first one, but I hear great things. Here's a news story I want to get to. Put it up here. Red Dead Redemption news coming September 28th, 11 a.m. Eastern. This is gonna be dope.
I'm assuming a new story trailer, like maybe some like in-game like actual game footage.
I think
that's what I want to see.
I think you might be underestimating it a little bit. I think usually when Rockstar does something like this, they want to show off like a crazy new thing that they're doing in this game. So maybe like some type of multiplayer, some type of fucking loot box system that every game gets nowadays. I'm not sure.
Dude, I can't wait for them to announce microtransactions.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, if they did like a GTA style like multi-protagonist thing, I would be down for that. Give me like a multi-protagonist Red Dead 2.
Nah,
Yeah.
dude, shaders.
New
Shaders.
shaders.
Fucking shaders.
One-time use shaders. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption might be one of my favorite games of all time, so I'm super pumped on this one. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. All right, moving on. We're rocking and rolling through this news here. Recon Wildlands Ghost War PvP beta. Here it is. I'm gonna play a video. This actually looks fucking dope. Now I played this game. We talked about it in an earlier episode of this show. And it didn't really have multiplayer. They were gonna bring the multiplayer along later, which I think is kind of fucking stupid. They should have waited, because then they could have came out after Destiny kind of fizzled out and then released a game like this with the multiplayer. They could have got a little bit more sales out of it. But I guess this way, I don't see people buying this game to get PvP.
Don't think they're worried about sales. I'm pretty sure they got more than enough.
Yeah, you could be right. It's a great game. It kind of gets a little bit repetitive towards the end, but I think PvP, I don't know, sounds pretty fucking cool in this gigantic jungle. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested, so I'm probably gonna check this out. The open beta, it said it right there. I missed it. The open beta starts on it should be up now, so you can go check it out now up until the 25th, which is today. So it's over. The beta's over. Old news. Sorry, missed it. But you can read about it here on this article, so we'll skip that one. All right, and this is autoplay. Thank you for letting me know, Loco. Got to catch that autoplay real quick. Come on, let me see it. Where's it at? Let's go, baby. Where's that autoplay? Let's get it going. Got him. All right. Oculus founder Palmer Luckey says he is working on very exciting things. Is he, though? Is he? Oculus founder Palmer Luckey, who left Oculus earlier this year. Another pop-up. You gotta be kidding me, GameSpot. Where am I? Who left Oculus earlier this year is staying in the virtual reality industry. Speaking at Tokyo Game Show this week, Luckey confirmed his new venture, but declined to share more details. I have a new company. I can't talk about my projects too much yet. I'm still working in the virtual reality industry on some very exciting things. He said at an appearance at an HTC Vive event. He says, don't think of me as an Oculus person. Just think of me as a VR person. Everything, Sony, HTC, other companies, everything. So I guess chances are he's looking into some type of software venture here. Now, if you remember, he kind of got canned by Oculus because of his pro-Trump stance, which I guess in tech is a problem these days. Some other weird stuff has happened as well. But I don't know. He seems to have done really well for Oculus. I mean, I bought it when Palmer Luckey was there, and honestly, I haven't played it in quite some time. They need more software, man. They need a lot more software. They need more people working on VR. Maybe is it a trend? I'm not sure. Maybe AR is going to steal its thunder. But, oh well. Sorry, Palmer Luckey. We'll see what you got working on. Fire Emblem's DLC announced. You going to get this, Doobie?
What was it?
The Fire Emblem DLC.
Yeah, I saw it. Kind of. I don't know. I'm a little. I understand, but I'm a little disappointed. And I say that by the first DLC is Fates. Cool. The second DLC, Shadow of the Dragon. Okay, I'm cool with that. Third DLC is Awakening. Where's the representation from the old as fuck games? The old, the Game Boy Advance ones besides Shadow of the Dragon. I get Martha's there, but where's the ones on GameCube? Where's Ike? Where's, Path of Radiance? I understand why they're focusing so much on the newer ones. Those are the ones that kind of revitalized the franchise. But I think there's a lot that they're ignoring that a lot of diehard fans would love to see. I would love to see Hector, some of these older characters that are so much fun. But sorry, it's Fates, Echoes, and Awakening. That's what you get.
Wait, I got a question. It says here it's a hack and slash. Is it a hack and slash?
It It is a hack and slash game because it's in the vein of Dynasty Warriors. It's the team behind Dynasty Warriors. They've done this before with Gundams. They did it with Hyrule Warriors.
I thought this was a turn-based RPG game.
No. This is the Fire Emblem Warriors game that's coming out October 17th. I'm getting the special edition now, and I'll be playing it. I'll probably stream it on the Twitch actually, because it does it's mindless fun. But Hyrule Warriors was very well received, and that was a franchise I kind of was really Zelda and Dynasty Warriors, because Fire Emblem and Dynasty Warriors makes a lot of sense.
No, Zelda was great. Hyrule Warriors was fantastic.
But I'm saying it was nice. It was that franchise though was at the time really they're gonna do Zelda over Fire Emblem, but it turned out to work. Yeah, of course. But Fire Emblem makes so much sense, and they are doing the weapons triangle.
What is that called again? That type of gameplay?
Just the Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, it's the giant territorial map and just hack and slash. Tons of weak enemies.
Yeah, PUBG. I had a name.
PUBG was, but with Fire Emblem. They have said that there will be permadeath, which is a Fire Emblem staple. So they are there's a unique twist on the Dynasty Warriors. It's not just a skin over a Dynasty Warriors game. So I've really actually never played a Dynasty Warriors game until Hyrule Warriors, and I enjoyed it. So Fire Emblem, I'm definitely looking forward to.
Super hack and slash, basically.
Yeah, totally mindless, just fun.
Yeah.
And if it's like Hyrule Warriors, it's got more content than you can shake your dick at.
Yeah, and that's kind of the things I do want to see though, is some of that DLC content. And people are gonna go, oh, this is DLC that could have been added to the game. That's not Nintendo is not the kind of company that they don't time their DLC announcements very well. But they're not the kind of things I'm guaranteeing you the development on this DLC is probably happening right now. Probably just started. But they're not, it's not like it was ready for day one. They just don't know how to time their announcements properly.
I think if I remember right, I'm hoping it's like Hyrule Warriors, because that game, seriously, I think to fully 100% that game, it took most people 400 hours.
Hey man, that's content I'm gonna enjoy, and I'm gonna be able to play it portably.
Called Crowd Combat. That's what it's called. Crowd Combat.
Okay, Crowd Combat. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
But yeah, I'd like to see more older game representation. That's all.
I hear you, man. Moving on. Mac OS got some Mac news up here. High Sierra just came out, which is their new. It's the new Sierra. High Sierra. They're always making weed jokes these days. Someone pointed that out. I forget who it was. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't gotten too much into it, so I just got it on there. I think basically all it does is basically allow you to work with these new HEVC files a little better. Here you can see there's a lot more compression. And also adds that Metal 2, which is the eGPU. External graphics processing unit stuff into your MacBook, so you can connect that up so you can do some faster rendering.
Finally, thank you. I'm actually happy about that. They're finally doing that.
I'm probably not going to get one.
Graphics card support.
Yeah,
they finally added that.
Yeah, that's big.
I'm happy about that.
They're also going to be doing a lot more with VR, which is cool. So maybe adding some type of game stuff. You never know. I wouldn't, don't expect to be playing PUBG on it, but
I get that Mac, Mac VR porn support.
Yeah.
True. No, really true.
It's the best. That's the only reason why you get VR.
It's the best.
But now you have AR, so it's they're actually in your room. So I'm pumped on that too.
You liked Alexis, Texas before. Now the VR experience.
Yeah, I haven't gotten too deep into it. I'll probably talk a little bit about it next show when I check it out. I don't think there's too much. I think it's more under the hood kind of stuff, but I am interested in seeing how the compression works. I want to see how these files hold up against some heavy color correction and just seeing if they hold up against regular RAW or JPEG files. Here's the big news out of Apple. Now, Siri is now using Google and not Bing for its web searches, which is actually, goddamn.
Welcome to 2017.
God, why are you using Bing?
Actually, welcome to 2014.
Why did they use
I'm sorry,
Bing?
welcome to ever.
That's how much they hate
fuck
Google.
uses
1996.
That's how much they hate Google. They didn't even want to use
Who the
their
fuck-
fucking number one.
Yeah, they
search
hate Google.
engine.
They hate Google
so
so
they'll
much
use
they were using
Bing.
Microsoft.
They hate it so much. that they
Dude,
use
I'm surprised they're not
Bing.
using Ash Jeeves.
They probably do now. They just say that they use Google.
But it's really Ash
It's
Jeeves.
just Jeeves. It's just
It's
a guy.
Yahoo.
It's just a guy named Jeeves that manually searches everything for you
Yeah.
on Bing.
Well, I mean, Jeeves was
Jeeves
cool
that for
until
you.
Jeeves was cool until Google got better than Jeeves. Because like the point of
was
Ask Jeeves
Jeeves?
was
Dude, the early
Okay, no, the
history
point
search
of it-
bars.
yes, the point of it originally was syntax. So you remember early Google, you were learning how you like to Google something effectively. What you wanted to use was keywords, right?
Yeah.
So you'd like put a keyword in, maybe some commas and stuff. Jeeves was the point of it was the syntax was different. That was originally the one you could use where you could ask it a question and it would search better based off of a question than just keywords.
I see.
But then Google got way better than it at doing that syntax of like, hey, what is this? You know what I mean? Versus just putting that in.
Right. I see. Man, Jeeves
the
fucked
early-
up.
the-
They
the
could have
early
really had
days of
something there.
search bars. Yahoo, Ash Jeeves, Google.
I just used Google. I didn't use any of that other bullshit. I think I used another one too, but I don't remember the name of it. But it's just right around when I think Firefox started to come out. I don't remember the name of it. I wish I did.
Is the word Google verb form in the dictionary yet? Because
it has to be.
To Google something, it's just a search for something at this point.
Is it though? Because that I wouldn't say that. I don't know. I don't
Especially
know.
with older people.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Older
It's-
people
it's-
who are
it's
like,
a verb.
It is.
Can you
Okay, yeah.
Google that?
I was gonna say because that's actually if you want to get deep in the law, there's actually a couple of huge lawsuits going on based off of
Trademark.
that verb usage and trademark usage. Yep.
Yeah, I mean that
Exactly.
Well, how
That happens
about
for so many things.
John Oliver's show last
Basically,
night?
they might be standing to lose
I-
their trademark because of verb usage.
I haven't watched it yet. I did see that it's about the whole company like thing. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched like 3 weeks of John
Well,
Oliver. I need to
literally
catch up.
yesterday, he talks about how like he's like Bing, the best way to Google something or some shit like that. It's like, yeah, I mean, hey, I don't think Google is to blame for that. That's just society, man.
It's just vernacular.
Yeah, that's just what we do now. We
That's a
Google
testament
shit.
to how popular Google is.
That's what you want
Yeah.
in a business. You want to get to that level where you're a Band-Aid or you're a Kleenex or a Google.
Oh yeah, those are the ones I was thinking of.
That's what you want to get into, you know? That's where you're like
Dude,
legendary
isn't it-
status.
In what like is it South where like you just I don't know. I know some places are pop, but like if you say just for a soda, you just say, "Yo, I want a Coke." What kind? I know some places are like that.
Yeah, I think that's a
Yep.
Southern thing. I think Loco was saying that last time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
Yeah.
what kind of Coke? Yeah, and then you ask for just a regular Coke.
That's when you know your brand made it. Like,
yeah, that's legendary
when you were
status
the
right there,
go-to
man.
word.
That's legendary.
That's what you. I think you want that, but you don't want that because then you also get into like, well, how's Kleenex doing? Because now that everything's a Kleenex, you know what I mean? Who actually buys Kleenex brand Kleenex now?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Do I even? I don't even know what the tissues are here.
I know people who only buy Kleenex, right? They
I
only
do too.
buy
I
that
do too,
brand,
yeah.
and they only buy Band-Aid. I only buy Q-tips because the fake Q-tip shit are terrible. They're so flimsy. So when I get in there, they break. Is that a Kleenex?
That is not a Kleenex.
What is that?
Is that? That looks like great value.
Walmart.
That's
That
your
is great value.
Your
That is
jizz
fucking
rags.
Walmart, dude.
It's jizz rags. Pulled him out behind his monitor.
No. They're on my vape table. Please.
Yeah, vape table, sure.
If you want to see it, it's disgusting.
Right next to the VR headset.
I don't have that kind of money.
Intel
If I
i9.
did, I would get it.
Yeah.
Intel i9 7960X review beats Threadripper, but
Yeah.
for price. This is at Ars Technica, 80% more cash than a 1950X for less than 20% more performance. Tough sell.
Oh yeah, dude, this thing's a beast. That's just what I was gonna expected, in my opinion. This thing's a
insanity.
fucking beast. If you want the best thing, you buy this. Just realize you're paying over twice the price for it.
And that's how it is for anything.
Yep.
There's diminishing returns. You get to a point, it's like in the high-end audio scene, like if you want like a speckle of better treble in something, then you, instead of spending $800 on that amazing pair of headphones, then you have to spend like $6,000 to get that tiny bit. And it just keeps getting worse and worse the more you go up. Same with processors. So if you wait, a year or two, then that price will come down, but then, you're not at the bleeding edge.
Yeah. And then actually that's what I'm really excited about is everyone's actually, since AMD did so well, it's kicked everyone else in the gear. So actually the leaks coming out for Coffee Lake look insanely good.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, Intel actually has to do something now.
That's what we wanted. We wanted a product from AMD to push Intel to be better, not to sit on their laurels and just not care.
Yep. Yeah, so here's some specs out of 7960X. It's running Skylake X architecture. 16 cores, 32 threads, 2.8 on the base, 4.2 on the turbo. That's insane. That's fucking crazy.
That's insane, yeah.
And 4.4 on the turbo 3.0. 3.6 all core clock speed, which is still insane. 22 megabyte cache, L3 cache. 44 PCIe lanes. Quad channel DDR4 only up to 2666, but it looks like they all do that. This is probably the heaviest part, the 165 watt TDP. And then $1,700 for it. If you want the top end model, the 36 threaded one, the 7980, then it's $2,000. Super expensive. Now this is the reason you would get this is for.
Well, what I was going to ask is, okay, so you said it earlier, it's 20% in performance increase for twice for a 200% price increase.
Yeah.
That's where you have to break down into things.
Yeah. Now, I'm trying to think of like why you would buy this over the Threadripper, and I can't really think of any other reason other than the fact that if you're not paying for it, like if you run a company that has millions of dollars,
that's it. If you have heavy money and you're doing super deep machine learning, that's about it.
That's the only reason you would get this. You're not getting this for gaming. It's not gonna do shit for you. You're just wasting your money. Yeah, and you're gonna need a shit ton of coolant. You gotta cool this bad boy, because it's running hot. 165 watt TDP. If you could plan on like really cranking it up there, then spend some good money. And you could probably, I don't know, can you put these in one of those dual CPU
Probably not.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Running like 500 watts just on the CPU alone.
Yeah, I don't think this is still on the consumer line technically, so I don't think so. I think that's still just reserved for the Xenons, yeah.
Yeah, it's just pretty crazy. I don't know why you would buy this. I really don't. Just get Threadripper if you're looking at if you are a 3D graphics designer, or if you're
doing content, I'd still say Threadripper.
Yeah,
like if you're going to use those cores, and then if you're not in this like not even 5, probably like 3.5% consumer group that's going, I'm even going to suggest buying a Threadripper too. Just buy an AMD R5 or these new Coffee Lake stuff.
Yeah.
Like you really don't need more than a 6 core.
It's just really just dick wagging. It's really just dick wagging.
Yeah.
They just had to put it out there, I think. They probably didn't want to, but they had to. They have the silicon. They can do it. So they were just like, let's just offer it. Obviously, it's going to be more expensive, but whatever. We'll just offer it. Now, if you are someone who's rich and you're loaded and you're a content creator and you can afford to really rig it out and you have a room that is actively cooled and like has good ventilation because it's going to produce some heat, then hey, pick it up, man. Have at it, because you're going to have a crazy chip that you'll probably have to upgrade next year. So
I was going to say,
there you go on that.
For the 1 year, there you go.
And here's
you always go for that $200 to $300 sweet spot.
Yeah, CPUs, man, they're just getting so efficient that if you really need that processing power, yeah, go Threadripper. Don't if you really need it, you know. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm not about that life. I'm not into it that much. I don't need nearly that much. Some people do though. All right, Jerry. Looks like you're buying a Surface laptop. What? What's going on?
Thinking about it.
This is
I'm
our
thinking about
last news topic.
Okay, basically my choices are between 13-inch MacBook Pro, because fuck the MacBook Air. I just haven't updated it.
You can just get an iPhone.
Yeah, no. I actually needed an actual operating system, unfortunately. That's the thing with that. Because this is for a work machine. I'm choosing between those two, and I'm probably leaning towards Surface, just because for me, it comes down to student discounts. I can get mad student discounts through Microsoft, and Apple's like, let's just say even with student discounts, I can still buy it from a third-party manufacturer cheaper than I can buy it from Apple.
Yeah. But I will say, I know this because I was at the Apple store the other day. If you buy something from Apple and you're a student, they give you a free pair of Beats headphones.
Oh.
I know that's enticing.
Oh, no. Sure, dude. The only way I'd ever accept them is for free.
All right, so you're getting a Surface or you're thinking about a Surface laptop, not the Surface other ones. Why? I want to know why.
Honestly,
you can't
it
really
mostly
draw on it.
Yeah, you can. You can draw enough on it for what I need to do. I'm fine. I don't need it to go fully back.
Right.
For me, it's one of those things where it's like, is OS X worth $400 in price and the loss of a touchscreen?
No, not if you're not an Apple user. No, I wouldn't say
like
that.
Yeah.
If you
so
had
like,
an
that's where it comes
iPhone,
down to
I
me.
would say yes. If you had an iPhone, an iPad, a fucking Apple, like that's
and
the
that's the
only
thing is
reason
I have not fully bought into any ecosystem, to be honest. Like I don't know, dude.
But it could be your time to start. I mean, it's up to you if you want to think about going that route.
For me, it's just I haven't bought into any ecosystem. Like even I love the Pixel, you know what I mean, and I like the nice Google phones. But even that, like I'll use a Chromebook kind of as a joke. I love it, but I don't use anything else. I'll use a Chromecast. That's about the most I've bought into an ecosystem. You know, is like $200 total. Yeah. Everything else I'll use Amazon, or I'll use, I use whatever I think is going to be best for me. And because I also don't have the money to spend an extra grand on an ecosystem.
Yeah. Now I think I'm trying to think like
honestly, the big thing is the touchscreen. I already have a okay-ish enough laptop. I can't justify myself buying one if it doesn't have something that differentiates it.
I honestly think that you should go for a regular Surface Pro or whatever one, because I had a laptop that had a touchscreen, the one before this MacBook Pro, and I barely ever used it, and it folded all the way back. I was never a situation where I had it like upright and I actually used the touchscreen ever. There wasn't a situation.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Scrolling, I'll use that for scrolling a lot and stuff like that. Like it's minor uses and some drawing. For me, God, the Surface, dude, I hate it. I'm surprised I'm sitting here thinking about buying a Surface laptop. So when Surface first came out, I thought it was the dumbest thing. I still think the tablet form's actually kind of dumb. For me, it just it's the weight orientation. I can't roll with that. You know what I mean? Where all of the weight's on the top hinge, right, versus the like little joke keyboard cover. Like for me, that's not optimal by any stretch.
I also think that you should test the keyboards too, or at least the Apple. If you're thinking about that, I've
tested both. Yeah, I like both of them. That was actually what surprised me. Is
you liked it?
The Surface is actually probably the first Windows laptop I have used and been like, it's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks nice. That's for sure. The only thing about the Surface laptop though is that it's pretty expensive for somewhat of like an underpowered machine.
It's the same thing though with the MacBook, my dude.
Well, Apple's always just overpriced.
I know. It's like because I was like, even if I spec'd them out exactly the same, it's still a $350 difference.
Yeah, they're always overpriced. I would never get a MacBook Air.
Nah. I will if they were to update it, but I mean, it's not even a 1080p screen. Still,
it's a piece of shit. That's for kids. That thing's for kids, rich kids, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is it used to be a fucking great laptop. MacBook Air used to be amazing when that was current. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they need to update it.
Yeah, and like that's the other thing is the cool thing about the Surface laptop. It's actually a 13.5 screen. Size wise, it is the size of an Air.
Yeah.
Like I held them both put them next to each other side by side. It's the size of an Air with a really nice screen. I'm kind of getting sucked in by the screen more than anything, dude.
I honestly think that you're gonna be upset that you didn't get the full dock thing, like just the Surface Pro where it just folds all the way back. Because I feel like you're gonna want to use it in that tablet mode, but you can't do it with the Surface laptop.
Maybe
stuck in that lap.
I could see that. I'm using it mostly as a coding machine, so like I'm not going to be using the touchscreen a huge amount. It's just I don't want another laptop if I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it is still a huge purchase.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I'm thinking like.
That's my dilemma right now. Is it's down to you pretty much, and I'm throwing them back and forth at each other.
Well, what about that fucking Chrome Pixel?
I think it's cool, but I still can't justify that. I love my Chromebook, but I was thinking about that because it's got a big enough hard drive I can just wipe it. But then I'm like, I don't want to go through that hassle.
Oh, because you want the operating system, right?
Right.
All right. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, because it's like, all right, because you're gonna spend upwards to $1,200-$1,300 for nice build quality. That's just the premium that you pay for modern hardware with a nice build quality. You're spending from $1,000 to $1,200-$1,300, and that is like a rough price to sit at, because if you spend a little bit more, you know, you can get more hardware out of it. But if you spend a little less, then you're sacrificing build quality.
Well, that's why Surface is enticing me, is because they'll drop that price for me, because I've also over the years when I've been a student, I have used Microsoft's like student things a lot. Like I get all my copies of Windows for free as a student, but like I work with them with like their Azure stuff and things like that. They'll give me that Surface for less than $900.
Yeah, it says here $899, 10 cents. For some reason, it just had an extra 10 cents on there.
Yeah, that's getting into that range of like, oh, so that is getting on the cheaper side, but it's still a very nice build quality.
All right, let's configure one. I'm going to configure one here. What color are you thinking about? I like this red one or the blue one.
You can only get the colors on one model. It's really dumb.
Oh yeah, you can't get the cheap one in blue.
No, you can only get a platinum, which that's dumb to me.
Yeah. Otherwise, the blue color is $1,300.
Yeah, that blue one and that red one are pretty sweet. I've thought about getting one of those too, because also those would drop down to like 1,160.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, like they give students like huge student discount. If you still have an okay, never mind. I was gonna say, if you still have a student email address, I would suggest seeing if you can get verification. Because seriously, they drop 10% off of everything. That's the other cool part too, is like, okay, the pen, you get 10% off. The dial, you get 10%. Like everything, you get 10% off.
All right. Now let's all right, we're gonna look at two different ones here. We're gonna look at the MacBook Pro 13-inch, right? That's the one you were looking at?
Yep.
No touch bar.
Right. I think the touch bar is stupid.
Yeah, I don't use it. It's not stupid. It's just, why are you paying like a premium for it? It should just be on all of them, you know? Oh, excuse me.
It's like the same reason. It's the same thing. Like I think the dial's really cool. I'm not gonna buy that. It's not worth $100. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not. All right, so you would go with the cheapest option, right, of the MacBook, which is the $1,299.
Probably, yeah.
$1,299. You're getting 8 gigs of DDR3 memory, an i5. I don't even know what chip this is. Let's select it here. You do get the Thunderbolt 3 ports. You get the Iris 640, 12 or 128 gigs of storage. And then you get this, where's this chip here? 7th gen i5 that boosts up to 3.6, which would be
They're all the same chip.
yeah.
It's the same i5 in all the models that I'm looking at.
What chip is it? What's the exact chip?
72U,
7200U.
I think.
Which is not a bad chip. It's pretty efficient, especially in terms of power. Okay, so you get that one, and then on the Mac or the Surface side, if you go with the cheaper option, you got to get in Platinum, and you would have to get 4 gigs, and you would just sacrifice
the
4
colors.
gigs,
No, the
basically.
colors though. Those are the same specs. I would get that for. It's actually slightly better specs. The pure spec comparison between the one that's 1,160 would end up being the same as the $1,500 iMac or the MacBook Pro.
So you would get the colored one.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Because
So that colored one is the same as a $1,500 MacBook Pro, like spec wise.
Yeah, because you would be getting more storage. You'd just be getting more storage, really, for your money. Where you'd be getting 128 gigs on the Apple. But some would say the Apple has the superior build quality and superior onboard speakers. So you're kind of
I don't know. That's latest reviews I've seen are actually they're starting to throw that to that Surface, this one specific Surface.
For speakers?
Yeah, for speakers, and The Verge recommends it over any MacBook.
Oh yeah.
For the first time ever. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like I've used one a couple of times. It's really nice.
Yeah, it looks nice. I don't know how I feel about the carpet though.
It's less
That's
like
gotta
a carpet.
stain,
Yeah,
man. That's gotta stain over time.
I know. That's what I want to see more reviews on, but of course you can't.
All right, let's look it up. We gotta see if we can look it up. Surface Book staining. Let's Google it. We're gonna Google it. The best way to Bing something to Google it.
It would be a Surface laptop.
Well, you can clean it. Microsoft
They claim it's really good, but I don't trust any company.
Microsoft says it's good, but you need to take care of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't see any staining. Oh, shit. Actually, yeah, you do.
Okay.
But these are the older ones, it looks like.
Yeah, you got to search Surface laptop specifically.
Yeah. This is all that Alcantara.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
I'm one of those
get
consumers
faded.
that I buy from everyone because I don't trust a single company for all my stuff. Because I come from Michigan and saw the backlash of what happens when you do that.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's a tough decision. They both do look nice. So really, it's up to you if you want to go iOS or.
Honestly, dude, it's been a bit of a coin toss. Like some days I'm leaning towards one, some days I'm leaning towards the other because they're both compelling.
Yeah.
It's more just. It really, for me, it comes down because I actually like both operating systems for what I do. Both work pretty great. For me, it comes down to, is it worth $300 to lose loss of a touchscreen?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a harder sell.
I don't know. I can't answer that for you. I can't. In my opinion, I don't think you should. I think you should go Microsoft. You don't have an iPhone. You don't have the Apple TV. You don't have an iMac. So, because if you did, that changes it. Then I would say, of course, you get the Air because then it just works. But you don't. So you can just go Microsoft and just rock it out. The thing with Microsoft, though, it's so much more. It's such a rat race in terms of like specs on laptops with Microsoft. So I don't want you to like get in and then you feel like it's under spec like you know, a year
Yeah.
from now. That's always rough. At least with
Well,
Apple, they in terms of their laptops, they do last a while. Like they don't spec them out too crazy.
Yeah, they do and they
Because
don't.
there's not like
That's a different debate.
Asus, MSI,
True.
you know, all these other companies constantly upping their specs on these laptops, which is fun
That's true.
on Windows, but you know, you want to
I
buy
have different
one that
opinions
is
on
good.
that. I don't know, dude. I use a 4-year-old MacBook Air. That thing's held up just the same as a 4-year-old Windows laptop, in my opinion. They're both slow as shit. So that's just me. But
Yeah, well, yeah, 4 years old. You got to remember too.
yeah, but that's why that's the claim you're making.
Yeah,
No?
well, what I'm saying is like, you know that Apple like next year isn't going to have a new model. It's going to be a few years before a new MacBook.
Yeah, I don't
13-inch.
care about if it's the newest model. I just want it.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be the best thing, the best like performance I can get at the time. And I know, dude, I've been into technology since I was, could walk. I know it's going to be replaced next week.
Yeah.
Like regardless of how you go. But that week I buy it, I want it to be the nicest, so it's going to last the longest.
Well, have you thought about like a third party manufacturer? Any other ones? Yeah,
I've been going through those too, but like
this is the most expensive option you could go for like these specs. Like you can get these specs at way cheaper.
Yeah, but I want the build quality. Every review I've been going through has actually been singing praise about this, which shocks me. Because like I was saying, like seriously, when the Surface came out, I thought it was a joke, dude.
Me too. I never saw
that. Yeah,
I would never expect you to want to buy this thing.
Same, dude. But I keep using
MacBook.
one every now and then. It's like this is actually surprisingly really nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just typing on it, fuck it, go the cheaper option then. Just go the cheaper one.
Yeah, I got to debate it with myself because that's what I'm thinking. But it's down to those two, I think.
Because it is a lot of money. It's not like a $600 laptop, or or a desktop that you can replace parts in. This is like, you got to keep this for a bit, unless you're fucking big man, money man over here. You can swap out laptops every year. You got it. The laptop buy is a rough one.
I don't want to.
The laptop buy is a rough one. It was a tough decision for me to go MacBook Pro when I was always just a Windows laptop guy, but I was like, fuck it. Let's shake up the dice here.
Well, that's the thing too, is I've always been more of an Apple laptop. If you're going laptops, this is the first thing that's compelled me otherwise. Unless you're going super cheap.
I definitely think that you should think about an ecosystem and getting into an ecosystem.
Nah, not gonna happen.
I think you should, man.
I'll get into the GM ecosystem when they come back to Flint. How about that?
No, definitely don't do that. Definitely don't do that.
Yeah,
maybe it'll just be Microsoft versus Apple one day, and that's it. And then you have to choose. Because now it's like there's so many other companies that you can pick from.
Yeah, I'm thinking between those two because they're the only ones who like build quality wise who've impressed me.
Yeah,
I like competition.
The other ones are terrible. I literally the other laptop I had was $1,500. It's 16 gigs of RAM, right? DDR4 RAM. The new Kaby Lake processor chip, which was the 7700U, I think at the time. 4K screen, 4K touch screen. It was an Asus. It had a GTX 1050 inside, and like I said, 16 gigs RAM. This is a badass laptop, but I just didn't want to use it because the build quality sucked, and it just was bulky, and it just didn't fit in anything, and it was heavy, and that build
never buy
quality,
a gaming laptop, dude.
Oh my god, it never. Ever again. I'll never, because I don't game on it. I'm not gaming on it. As much as I thought I was going to, no, I never did.
Like, the only reason why I would ever recommend a gaming laptop is if space is a concern, but you're still just going to leave it sitting in one spot.
Or if you're like 12 years old. That's about it. Yeah, but I was also like, I want the touchscreen because I'm thinking I'm going to draw on it, but I never did. I never used it as that kind of machine. So I was like, let me get rid of this. And then I went Apple.
Well, the other thing too is my girlfriend will use the screen, and I can sell that to her in a year too. So
there you go. Nice. All right. Any deep topics? Nah, we don't have time for deep topic. We'll come back next week. Fucking loco. Pfft. Ditched us. Ditched us again.
miss you, buddy.
Fucking loco. Going.
Hope
for
you're
a
doing well.
Job.
Fucking ditched us
Doing
for
13 pages of essays.
Oh my god! Did you see that? That was insanity.
I saw that. That
I've
was
never,
crazy.
I've never seen such a thing in my life. Yeah, we don't know where he's at. He said he was gonna go take a nap after he showed us this 13-page essay that he wrote for a job application. So he's probably out for the count. But I'm trying to think. All right, what do we got coming up? I'm gonna be doing an iPhone 8 review. That's definitely coming up. That's gonna be shot only on the iPhone. I think that's gonna be fun. Actually, I might throw in some other shots, but I'm gonna be doing that. I'm pretty much done with Destiny 2. Don't ever feel like playing it again.
All right, I was just gonna say, like, you got to use something more than just the iPhone, and that's not a dig against the iPhone. It's just like, what? So here's view. I'm just gonna stand in front of a mirror recording the phone to show it off.
I'll use this bad boy right here. Bow, 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 bow. No, I definitely want to, because this is like, I don't recommend this phone to anyone who's not a content creator. If you are someone who just uses a phone for business, or you just use a phone for content viewing, then I would go probably Note 8. That phone is fucking kick-ass. I'd probably go LG V30 or whatever the new LG one is. That one's kick-ass.
I'm going to throw one out of left field for you, too. I'm really interested in the rumors that the iPhone SE is going to be updated in the spring. If you want for like a consumer phone, that $350, $400, it's a very solid phone.
This was my favorite phone for the simple fact that you could control it all with one hand, and it looks nice and it feels good. So the iPhone, whatever the small one is, the SE, you could check that one out. But the only way I would recommend this is if you were a content creator and you didn't care about the X. You didn't care about the screen on the X. The X, I have my own opinions about it. I don't like that fucking thing in a way. I don't know how apps are going to work around it. You generally get this huge screen, but when you go portrait or landscape mode, it cuts it off. You got to cut it down to get the right aspect ratio. I don't know. It's frustrating sometimes. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And I want to do something else, but I just don't know what else I could do this week for gaming.
I might have some tech stuff coming soon. We'll see.
Yeah, I think I was
also some Total War stuff possibly. We'll see.
Dude, you should just do a whole Total War campaign.
Yeah, dude, I'll do the entire 120-hour campaign on YouTube. All right, I'll see you guys in 3 years when I finally finish.
Dude, you'd be like Doobie and his Nuzlocke.
It's over.
He finished
done.
it.
The newest episode is up now. The finale. It's done.
How happy are you about that?
I'm ready to play something new.
Yeah?
Actually, not new. I'm ready to play something retro. So anybody who's watching, hop in our Discord and let me know what you would like to see. I'm thinking something SNES, PlayStation 1. I'm leaning towards a Symphony of the Night playthrough because I haven't played that game in like 10 years.
Discord link is in the description of this video, and also in the description of the podcast. Wait, I want to see how this ends. I do want to see how this ends. Do you win it? Did you win? Is that what happened, or did
spoilers? Spoilers. No spoilers.
Spoilers.
All right, I won't spoil it.
Well, I gotta watch.
I won't spoil it for you.
All I'll say is I spent an hour and a half in the goddamn Elite Four. But it was good. It was a good run.
I think you should. Let me think. Well, let me think what you could play through next. You want to do old school? You want to go old school?
I'm thinking Super Nintendo, PS1, like that kind of era.
I'm thinking Swag Man.
God damn it!
I don't think we give you Swag Man, dude.
I'm not playing Swag Man.
No, dude, just play Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man.
Why not Swag Man?
I love Pepsi Man.
You love Pepsi Man, but you don't love Swag Man?
Damn right, I don't love Swag Man. Pepsi Man is 1,000 times better. With those cheesy as fuck cutscenes.
All right. That's gonna be the next contest. the next
no.
contest, the winner or like the loser has to play
Who has to
either
play
Swagman or Pepsi Man, based
say
on
that- you
their
say
choice.
You say that as if Pepsi Man is a curse to play.
No. So Wayne would have to play Pepsi Man. You would have to play Swagman.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right, I'm into it.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
if anybody wants to give me an opinion, hop in Discord. Let me know.
Yeah, hop in Discord. Let them know. I don't have any opinions right now. I'm drawing blanks on PS1. I'm thinking like, I don't know.
I'm thinking live stream, like
But
2
I'm
hours, and then cut it up into YouTube content.
I'm definitely thinking something that for one that might be a little shorter than that, so you're not playing for. How long has this Nuzlocke been going on, dude?
The Nuzlocke was 17 episodes, usually about 2 hours a piece, but there was also grind episodes that were like 6 to 8 hours sped up,
Yeah.
where it was just a chill 2 hour music stream.
Yeah, definitely nothing that crazy.
Dude, it was a lot of play. I think the total gameplay on the actual save file was about 40 hours.
Oh my god.
Dude, play a Total War co-op with me. We can make a 240-hour campaign.
240.
Okay, here it is. Persona 5 hard playthrough. I'll see you in 100 hours.
I mean, honestly,
I do need a hard playthrough.
maybe you should do that. Maybe you should do a game that people will watch. Instead of fucking like Armored Core, like an Armored Core campaign. Who the fuck is gonna watch that? You know what I mean?
Dude, time to play some Zone of the Enders.
17 episodes of Armored Core 1.
I would watch like no joke. I'd watch a Rabbids playthrough.
The Mario Rabbids?
Yeah, dude, do a
'Cause
Rabbids playthrough.
I want to see you beat that games, and then like 6 months from now, watch you play XCOM. Yeah.
Oh my
exactly.
god, there we go. We got it. Come on, dude. We got to do that Rabbids playthrough.
Like I would love to see
I can
that.
do a Rabbids playthrough.
I think
That is a fun game, man.
I would definitely watch that too. And I want you to do it
Saturday Rabbids.
There you go.
Saturday Rabbids live stream. That'd be fun.
And I want you to do it in a general's outfit with like a general's hat on. Like a war general. Can I buy that for you on Amazon?
I'd be Patton, just straight up Patton.
Yeah.
We will march the field of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, dude, it's all on sale right now. It is getting to be Halloween.
There you go.
We will stare into the rabbit's enemy's eyes. I don't fucking know what I'm doing.
So did we got a deal? Are we doing Rabbids playthrough?
Are we just gonna be meme cosplay playthroughs?
Dude, this is gonna be so lit.
So if you play Pepsi Man, I gotta get you the Pepsi Man outfit, which I can get.
Oh god.
My buddy owns one.
Alright, I'll think of a playthrough for me. And whoever finishes first has to play one or the other. Swagman versus Pepsi Man. Alright, let's get out of here.
All right.
Thank you all for listening to the No Life Gaming Podcast, episode 18. We'll catch you guys next week. Much love. Peace.
Bye.
So yep.